Hey team, it's Mr. Zimmerman, and today we're going to continue to look at reviewing the main topics of our first unit, and we're going to continue our adventure through the homework. So let's go ahead and dive on in. So where we left off is we're going to have to go ahead and multiply now. We're going to have to distribute, and you should have some training where you want to automatically multiply this 5 to every single term inside of here. So what we're going to distribute is the coefficient, the fancy word for the 5, which is outside of the parentheses. And that's what we're going to do first. Then we're going to have to repeat what we learned from the last video. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute. The 5 has to go to all of the terms. And I'm going to make sure to include that what belongs to this grouping symbol is 2x squared, the negative 3x, and the positive 10. Notice how the sign to the left belongs to the number. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply the coefficients. 5 times 2 is 10, squares, minus 5 times 3 is 15x, and 5 times 10 is positive 50. Likewise, I'm going to go ahead and do this for this next guy. I'm going to be distributing this coefficient to every single word inside of this grouping symbol. 3 times 3x is a positive 9x squared. 3 times 2x is a positive 6x. And a 3 minus 10 is negative 30. Now we drop the grouping symbols as step 1. Now step 2, we have to combine like terms. And I'm going to be looking for the terms that have the same variable and power. Negative 15x, positive 6x, and likewise positive 50 and negative 30. By combining those, I can get 9x squared. Negative 15 and 6 makes negative 9x. And then it's going to result in positive 20. This is one method. The other method, which I suggest, because typically you might be able to distribute, but what if this problem was a little more complicated? I would use how many terms are on the outside? 5. And I'm going to draw this rectangle. And I'm going to go ahead and write all of the terms inside of my number on the outside. Each of these terms, 1, 2, 3, will be multiplied by 5. So I'm going to do 5 times 2 is 10x squared. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15x. And 5 times 10 is 50. Likewise, I would do the same thing for here. I would do 3. How many terms am I multiplying it by? 3. 1, 2. 3x squared, positive 2x. I'm making sure to include the sign so I don't randomly just drop something that's negative. And then I'm going to go ahead and multiply. What is 3 times 3? 9x squared. Notice how I'm just writing the variable. 3 times 2, 6. And 3 times negative 10 is negative 30. And then I can combine these two. And notice how I can just look at my chart. I can see that, 10x squared and 9x squared put together is 19x squared. Over here, I do the same thing. Negative 15x and positive 6 is a negative 9. And then finally, 50 and negative 30 is 20. So, all right. That's just another way. Do you? Let's go on and continue this adventure, though. So essentially, subtraction is going to be the same thing as adding the polynomials. It's just the same thing. You're going to remove the parentheses from the first expression and rewrite each term. And then you're going to make sure you're going to distribute the negative and change the signs. When you remove the parentheses from the second expressions, change each term to its opposite. And then you're going to combine like terms. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, this is only when it's subtraction. I see this immediately. And in the process of unpacking, immediately I take away the grouping symbols. I'm going to go ahead and distribute this negative sign. You can think of it as multiplying as a -1 to every single term, which is why it results in the opposite signs. This is going to turn into a -5x cubed plus 2x squared minus 2. Now I need to combine these guys together. So let me go ahead, line up my like terms, and I'm going to add them, resulting in -3x cubed, positive 6x squared, and a -8. Wow, I didn't even notice that we were subtracting here, where before we were adding. All requires the same toolkit. Likewise, for this next guy, I see there's no sign in front of this, so I'm going to immediately unpack it. 2c plus 3. Now, here, I see this -1. I'm going to immediately distribute it to all of the terms on the inside. Going to result in -3c squared. A negative times a negative is a positive. I like to write my coefficients, and then plus 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and combine my like terms. Now you might be like, oh, wait, that doesn't work. Exactly. I can't combine the 8c to the 4th to the -3c. So this just stays the same. And I can maybe put like an underline to kind of show that I've already used this. Now I'm going descending. Is there a 3? No. Is there a 2? Yes, there's the second power. Is there a first power? 2c and 1c's make 3c, and then 3 and 1 make 4. Voila.